It's very nice status to have, showing rather than telling. I have the bookish tree in the background. Hi, I'm Sock Marionette, doing business as bargain counter argument. I'm a middle-aged lady in a tiara talking about books, and as you can tell from the title and thumbnail of this video, I am talking about my July ARCs. An ARC, A-R-C, is an advanced reader copy or an advanced review copy. I've seen it both ways. And those are books that publishers make available to readers so that they can review them before the books are published, as kind of like a publicity push, and so people can see reviews of the book and decide whether or not they want to buy them. Pause for sneeze. So I get mine through NetGalley, so they are electronic advanced copies. And I have read 1, 2, 3 for July, which is fewer than I usually read, I think. And I have a whole bunch in August that I'm going to want to read. And then the other part of this video is going to be my plans for August, which includes a lot of ARCs. So I am going to talk about the 3 books that I read. One actually has already been released, The Storykeeper by Kelly Ripa from Mira, or is it Mira? I think it's Mira Press, M-I-R-A. And it is a novel that's set in Australia. Part of it is set in Australia, and part of it is set in a small town in California. Kelly Ripa herself, I believe, is Australian. And it's a book within a book. It's kind of a neo-Gothic. This woman who's she's going through a divorce. She has adult children. She has one adult child. She's going through a divorce. She buys her beloved uncle's house from her cousin. Her uncle has died many years earlier. And there's like these weird entailments on the estate. It's like they're not supposed to sell or alter or change the estate in any way until both the uncle and the protagonist's mother, the uncle's sister, have both died. Well, her mother's still alive, so there is that. And her mother is just like wigging out because she bought this thing. Now, she partially grew up in this house, or I think mostly grew up in this house. Her uncle was a famous writer, and she grew up like idolizing him and loving living in this writer's house. She herself became a restoration architect. Like, she specializes in historic properties. So she buys the property from her cousin, and she's like, oh, I'm going to restore it to its former glory. And the descriptions of the house and the town and the setting are just wonderful. Well, she finds this mysterious book in her uncle's collection, and she's never heard of the author. She's never heard of the book. So she starts reading it, and then you get the book itself. So it's a book within a book. And the book takes place mostly in a small town in Northern California, in the 50s or early 60s, I think. Anyway, the question is, where did this book come from, and what does it have to do with her uncle's house? It's a pretty good book. I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. I enjoyed the book within a book thing. However, I found it to be like a little predictable. Like, Kelly Ripa maybe telegraphed where the story was going just like a little bit too obviously, but I still enjoyed getting there, even though I knew what the destination was going to be. So that was a 4 stars. And like I said, that's already out. That was released on the 21st. And then I read 2 books that are being released today because these are ones I got through Harlequin. And I'm auto-approved by Harlequin. It's very nice status to have. I really appreciate Harlequin making these books available to me. And the thing with Harlequin is that, at least for their category romances, they always release them on the last Tuesday of the month. So they're being released tomorrow, on the 28th of July. I read Harlequin Heartwarming. Harlequin Heartwarming is their sweet, clean, secular stories. I mean, there's no religious content. Occasionally you'll have people going to church or whatever, but it's not explicitly religious the way Love Inspired is. But it is a sweet, clean, good time. And this one is called The Medic and the Mom-to-Be by Kristi Hong. And it is exactly what it says. It's one of those descriptive titles. It's about a woman she's a teacher. She's originally from China, and it doesn't specify if they mean PRC or ROC, Republic of China, but the ease with which she and her parents go back and forth between the 2 countries suggests to me that maybe it's Taiwan, but it doesn't get into that. She was born in China, and she came to the United States to work. She has a degree in elementary education, and she works at a elementary school. She teaches, I think it's second grade. She works at an elementary school in Michigan that is a Mandarin immersion school. So she is teaching the normal second grade subjects. She's teaching them in Mandarin Chinese. So that's why she was able to immigrate, was she had this valuable skill that she was able to teach these classes. And her parents visit her sometimes, and a lot of times she goes back and visits her parents. They stayed in China. And so she's very regimented, very organized, very controlling, kind of rigid. But she's warm-hearted. I mean, she's not cold or anything, but she does kind of like things to be the way she wants them to be, and she gets a little freaked out when things are out of her control. Well, one of the things she decided, she's always wanted to be a teacher and she's always wanted to be a mom, and she decided that she was just going to go ahead and become a mom on her own terms. So she went to a clinic and got a donor material. So she is expecting a baby, and then this guy comes into her life. He is the uncle of one of her students. His name is Ravi, R-A-V-I, and he's the son of a diplomat, and he and his father had a bad relationship. Ravi is spontaneous and impulsive, like to a fault, to the point where sometimes he kind of almost borderline endangers his nephew, and he like won't have a cell phone. And I think he has a cell phone that works internationally because he works internationally as a medic. He won't get a cell phone that works locally, though. It's kind of, I think it's supposed to be symbolic of his reluctance to put down roots, but it just comes across as being like super irresponsible, especially when he's bucketing around town with his nephew. His sister, the nephew's mom, is a single mom too. So anyway, so you have kind of like the thesis is this overly controlling and scheduled person, and then the antithesis is this kind of more spontaneous person, and then the thesis, of course, is them figuring out a way to be together. And there's a subplot about how she doesn't want her parents to know about the baby because she's afraid that they'll drop whatever they're doing in China and move to Michigan to look after her and the baby, and she doesn't want that, and it's kind of not clear why. One thing I like that Kristi Hong did with the main characters is that instead of just saying she's rigid and controlling, she made it clear through her actions and her words, and the same for Ravi being spontaneous and impulsive. However, there was a very nice showing rather than telling. However, when it came to her conflict with her parents, we were told rather than shown, so it felt kind of weird that way. Also, the book gets off to a slow start, and then a whole bunch of stuff happens in the back end, and sometimes that works, but to me, as a reader, it didn't feel like it was gathering momentum. It just felt kind of disjointed. So I did enjoy the experience, though, and I really appreciated her descriptions of fall in Michigan and the different holidays they were celebrating, the Mid-Autumn Festival, which is the Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival that they were celebrating, and then Thanksgiving. I'm not sure why this is being released in July because it's a perfect fall read, but, maybe you want to read a fall book in the middle of summer. I know I'm looking forward to fall, and I didn't mind having a little anticipation there. So I gave it 3.5 stars. I think I gave it rounded down to 3. There were flaws. I did enjoy it. And then finally, one that I think I gave this 5 stars or 4.5. It was Their Convenient Tuscan Marriage by Bronwyn Scott, Harlequin Historical, specifically Regency, but it takes place in Florence during the Regency, about a couple of British expats. And it was just one of those situations. She's a widow, and he's just gotten out. He served in the army during the wars. It's supposed to be just after the Napoleonic Wars, a couple of years later. And he doesn't know what to do next. And she's a widow, and she has a plan for what she wants to do next, but she's having trouble executing it because everybody's like, oh, you silly little woman. What, you want to go into business? You want to own property? I mean, legally you can, but we're not going to take you seriously. And you can guess from the title that they figure out a way to merge their interests in a marriage of convenience that also includes some physical compatibility. And he is absolutely determined that he will never fall in love because he had a tragic love in the past. But you know what? You're already married to her. You might as well just go for the whole emotional experience. It was so much fun. I really enjoyed reading that book. And there's a secondary character who gets his own romance in a book that's coming out later this year. And I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that as well. So those were my arcs. And now I'm going to talk about my August plans. I have the planner. I don't have anything written in it yet, but another sneeze. I'm working on a special TBR. I got my sister to go through my owned but unread shelf on Goodreads and pick out some books for me to read. So I've been reading those, and I'm hoping to have those read. I actually have added a couple of books to it as kind of bonuses that I think are kind of fit in with the others she picked, or with her personality, I should say. And I'm hoping to have that finished. I read the books, record the video. I'm hoping to have that posted on her birthday, which is August 8th. So I'm going to be continuing to do midweek motivation. That's Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. All are welcome. Let's see, flip through Fridays. Every Friday I flip through a book. I may have to take a week off. I'm not sure. We'll see how things work out. Summer's kind of rough for me. My energy level kind of is mostly down rather than up. And I also have this bingo, this reader's bingo, summer bingo card from my local library, which I haven't even really looked at yet. So I'd like to do a video about that. What I think I'll do is, like, maybe in mid-August, I'll do a video where I go through and say which of these prompts I've actually filled just by doing my normal summer stuff, and then go through and pick the other prompts I want to fulfill and do those before the end of August. So, and of course I will have Christmas in August. I just posted a couple of days ago Christmas in July. I actually recorded it and posted it the same day on the 25th. Which actually didn't end up being very Christmassy. I mean, I have the bookish tree in the background, and I'm wearing a bright green blouse, and I read Christmas in July by Debbie Mason. Long story short, I really liked it. But I didn't really talk very much about Christmas. I didn't bake cookies, I didn't decorate. I did burn a Christmas candle, but I forgot to mention it. So it was kind of not as Christmassy as it could have been. I'm hoping August will be more Christmassy, but we'll see. I'm also going to be trying to organize my books a little. We'll see how that goes and if a video ensues from that. So yeah, it's just like the usual round of reading and videos and so on. So I hope that there's something in there that you'd like to see. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so that you can see those videos. Or not. I am not the boss of you. Same deal for liking and commenting and sharing. Please go ahead and do that if you want, or not. And thank you for your attention, and I hope you have a good day or night.
Pas besoin de mots, juste un sourire. On se